You're watching Iowa Live on CW Iowa 23.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Iowa Live here on CW Iowa 23. We are very excited to have Ben McDougal joining us here this morning because we want to highlight and celebrate entrepreneurship. And there is a group of people that get together to celebrate and support one another. And we want to talk more about that this morning with 1 Million Cups. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, let's talk entrepreneurship here in Central Iowa. How is that looking? And take us down that road a little bit.
Well, I mean, I think the startup community here in Des Moines and throughout the state is more vibrant than most. A lot of people starting businesses, whether it's a small business locally, making an impact there, but also scalable startups that are using technology to bring a lot of different types of things to life on the internet. And in the connected era, it doesn't matter where you're building. And so it's been a treat being a part of the Des Moines community and being a part of that evolution over the years.
So what are some of the things that keep people from maybe going into being an entrepreneurship and starting a business like that?
I think some people feel like they need permission. Some people have fear. There's a sense of less security than maybe the job that pays you
Absolutely.
A salary, no matter how you perform. So a lot of folks, I think an easy way to get into it might be the side hustle approach, where you've got, you're the stability of a salary, but then using a little extra energy in the evenings or around the other times of the day to build something that you're passionate about.
Right.
And it's a lonely roller coaster, right? But man, there's not a better ride. This is an opportunity to build into the direction that you have a passion for. And oftentimes that leads to persistence, which is really the wild card towards the opportunity of finding success.
For example, let's talk about some of your entrepreneurships around our area that people might recognize.
Yeah. So I graduated in 2004, and startup wasn't a word. Entrepreneurship really wasn't a mindset. Mm-hmm. And so seeing that actually evolve within our educational organizations has been super interesting to me because I wasn't blessed with that opportunity.
Right.
But coming out of school, I had the web development work and built a 3v3 soccer tournament was my first entrepreneurial experience. Sold that in order to build a social network in the video game industry back when MySpace was cool.
So back in the day.
Yeah, so I've been doing the esports stuff throughout North America for the last, 11 or 12 years now. Yep. And so alongside of those activities, it's been a treat to build in the craft beer industry. We built FlightBright, which is an electronic serving system that allows you to have the samplers of beer and using technology to highlight them and allow you to share them throughout social and creating data for the industry. And then most recently, I haven't put a name to something new in a long time, but we've launched an open house scheduler. And so it came from a problem that I've identified in my work in the real estate and home building industry with Drake Homes. And I think it's important when you say them all together, it starts to sound a little mediocre because it's diluted perhaps. But if you're mindful of your bandwidth, I think it's always good to hit one tree 100 times instead of 100 trees one time.
Absolutely.
And so making sure that you're conscious of your bandwidth is important. And it's probably a good segue into 1 Million Cups because when you're building things like this, it sometimes can be lonely. And so having that weekly opportunity to connect with other folks who are building things that they care about, it's almost one of the key things in entrepreneurship is surrounding yourself with community, mentors, learning from others and the way they're doing things. And so it's been, the reason I've been so passionate about 1 Million Cups is because it helped me so much as an entrepreneur.
So let's talk about 1 Million Cups. What is it?
Well,
besides a good cup of coffee in the morning.
So 1 Million Cups is a weekly gathering for entrepreneurs. It's free here in Des Moines. It's down at the Science Center every Wednesday morning from 8 to 9:30. Parking's free, coffee's free. The energy is unmatched because, like I said, you're just surrounding yourself with fellow entrepreneurs. The format, I think, makes it special in the fact that you have some networking over coffee to begin with, and then bringing it into the programming. It's a very concise 6-minute presentation, and it doesn't matter who's presenting, and you have so many different industries that are represented. And then it becomes our turn as the community to do the Q&A thing. And that's where anyone in the audience can ask a question, provide the feedback, and really at the core, like accelerate that presenter. So it's thousands of dollars worth of consulting for the presenter, but even as an attendee, there's an opportunity of learning of how that person's building. And I've learned over the years that like the energy of accelerating others is unmatched. And so you have that opportunity to do that each Wednesday morning.
So how do we participate? Do we have to sign up, or do we just show up?
Yeah,
how do we get involved?
All are welcome, and it's show up. No RSVP, no registration required. Because it's every single Wednesday, if you miss this week, we'll see you next week, right? And so it's been a pleasure being a part of that here in Des Moines. And we were the second one. It's a Kauffman initiative out of Kansas City.
Yeah.
And so we were the second one 7 or 8 years ago, and I've been doing this every week since then.
Wow.
Now we're up to 183 communities around the country. And as that movement has grown, the need for extra layers of leadership and support has emerged. And so that's kind of been my latest evolution, is working at the regional level. And there are now 60 different 1 million cups around this 12-state region. And so 1MC Midwest has been a really interesting thing to see how 1 million cups is helping accelerate entrepreneurs in a really wide variety of different communities.
Can you talk a little success stories, or what you've heard of the buzz of people that attend this on a regular basis?
Yeah. So I mean, I think of one example. It's not meant to be like, hey, we're pitching for investors, but that can happen.
Okay.
And so I remember one presentation that led to a complete funding for that company.
Really?
Another example, even personally, I found both of my co-founders within that 1 Million Cups community. And so whether it's the awareness that you're creating for your own business, the education that's happening as you receive those different perspectives of the community, or the connections that are happening with the people that you meet every week, I think that's pretty easy to like.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so remind us again, if we want to be a part of this, when and where do we need to go to be a part of it?
So here in Des Moines, it is every Wednesday morning from 8 to 9:30, and you park in the garage right outside the Science Center, and that's covered, coffee's covered, and I think you'll really enjoy yourself. There's also 5 others throughout the state. So you've got Ames and Cedar Falls and Cedar Rapids, Iowa City, and even over in Pocahontas. So there's a lot of 1 Million Cups activity in Iowa overall as well.
Wow, you're just doing some incredible work. 1millioncups.com, as you see here, to kind of make that connection. We highly encourage you to do so. Besides the educational aspect, networking as well. Why not surround yourself with some other amazing entrepreneurs that we have here in our community? And Ben, if people want to reach out to you, because I know you are constantly moving and shaking and doing some great things.
We've already had fun on Twitter this morning.
We have. How can people get in touch with you and follow you?
Well, me personally, I think benmcdougal.com is going to see all the different social media activity. But Ben Ovader is kind of where I live personally throughout the social media landscape. And so I'd say it's pretty easy to find both activities, but also personal stuff. Speaking of 515 Alive is tonight.
It is.
And I told them I might give them a shout out. So I'm ready to rock. That's my favorite event of the year. So looking forward to that this weekend.
We did have it on our Great Things Happening calendar, because it is something pretty amazing to go and celebrate. So thank you for that extra plug there.
Absolutely.
1millioncups.com. Please check that out and enjoy our local rendition, which is over at the Science Center Wednesday morning starting at 8 a.m. Ben, thank you so much for joining us today.
Cheers.
Cheers with a great cup of coffee as well.